As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Major League Baseball, Aaron Judge on an absolute rip right now has a chance to hit 60 home runs. First player to hit 60 home runs in what, 21 years, I believe. Very few have ever done it. And the guy is on an absolute shred right now. His size makes it so fun to watch him hit baseballs. It looks so effortless, and he sends them 400 feet without even hardly moving his lower body. It's amazing.
He he's gonna make so much money playing baseball. Like it's gonna be absurd, but he deserves it. I I don't watch much baseball anymore, but the fact that because you bring him up a lot and Otani up a lot,
Mm-hmm.
if I catch a glimpse of something they're doing, or maybe I'm flipping through channels, I see the Yankees or the Angels are on. I'm watching those guys. Like they are slowly pulling me back in to watching some more Major League Baseball. And that is a huge compliment to them because I've been out for a while, Ted. But Judge is like he's phenomenal to watch. That guy's a monster, man.
Yep, he's a monster. He's seems like a really fun personality and just a gigantic individual. When you see him step in the box, it looks like, oh wow, this is going to be easy. The strike zone is as big as a hallway door, but that also comes with a tremendous amount of reach and a tremendous amount of bat speed. So enter at your own risk. Dude is a lot of fun to watch, and I hate to admit it, but this baseball season has been interesting. It has been good stuff.
The Yankees are really good. I know that. I will I'm going to stay true to my typical policy. I will see you in the playoffs, Major League Baseball. Until then, I will only turn on something if Teddy texts me and tell me, "Hey, watch this."
Uh,
That's kind of my current baseball fandom right now.
that's been my baseball fandom for a long time. This year, I've followed it a little bit closer than past years. Not super close, just a little bit closer.
Well, there you go. All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
I had to go with Garoppolo. You know,
He's in a weird spot, huh?
it's a weird spot. He's trade bait, obviously. It looks like he's back and healthy. But Trey Lance is getting all the accolades right now. Everyone's talking about how great he's looked. Um, it feels like, depending on what happens with the Deshaun Watson situation, that he may end up in Cleveland, which, it's crazy. Garoppolo's 33-14 as a starter, and he's just like stuck there. That's an unbelievable record in the NFL. To have a record like that in the league is incredibly difficult at quarterback. So he's in a weird spot. What does he do? I think he's going to make like 24 million this year. It's a tough spot to be in. He's going to make good money, but he's probably going to end up somewhere that I guess going to Cleveland would maybe be the best case scenario for him short term, but he's probably going to end up somewhere really, really bad.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him
Right.
because
He's got
he
a
was
lot going for him, the young man does.
he was, we played in the Shrine game together. We went from the Shrine game to the Senior Bowl together, sat next to each other on the plane. Catch up every once in a while. But the guy is gorgeous and he's made an unreal amount of money. So it'll be fine. Now he's coming off the shoulder surgery, but man, did you see what Kyle Shanahan said? He basically was like, "Hey, we all understand what the situation is here." Like he was just like, "Yeah, he looks great, but hey, Trey Lance is our guy." And my only question is, those guys, is he just looking way better than Trey Lance? Like,
Well, see, that's what's interesting to me about this is is the Trey Lance thing, is that a Shanahan thing, or is that a front office thing? You know, um, because Garoppolo, you know what you get. And I understand if the younger, more athletic quarterback is better, he's better, whatever. But you know as well as I do, it doesn't always work out to where the better player is out there.
No.
And so, it's hard to know what this situation really looks like because, I loved Trey Lance coming out, but, it didn't really progress like I thought it was. I think even on here, I said that he was going to be the best quarterback out of that draft class. And I've kind of distanced myself from that statement since I made it, but like they're pouring the accolades on him right now. I guess we'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he looks like, but I think Jimmy G is going to end up somewhere, and he's going to be the starting. He's one of the best 32 starting quarterbacks in the league, right?
No doubt.
So he should be on the field if he's healthy and that shoulder's ready to go. Get that beautiful man on the field. Okay.
Yeah, it's wild though that this thing's kind of drug on that long. He's a winner. He's not the best out there, but you know what he's got to offer.
Yeah. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, scrolling,
wrong page. Still scrolling. And First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all, whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone. Everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. First Fidelity Bank provides free ATMs worldwide, making banking convenient wherever you are. They also give back to the community. FFB donates a total of more than $500,000 to local charities and educational foundations. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information.
And if you're a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing. Head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year round. Remember, in 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the weekend, I thought about going with OU basketball. That trip they're on in Europe looks awesome.
It does.
I'm so jealous. They're in Barcelona, which I still think is the coolest city in the world I've ever been to. I loved it. So they went there, beat up on a couple of teams, saw all the sights, probably ate some awesome paella and had a fantastic time. And now headed to Paris, which I've been to also. Everyone said I was going to hate it, and I freaking loved it.
Really?
So I was shocked. We went in the winter. It was great. It was less crowded. Everyone was super nice. I got to dress very European, which I enjoyed. I had a good time. So in all seriousness, the fact that these kids get this experience, it's really cool, man. I wish college football guys got it because, and I know it's way more difficult with all the moving parts and the amount of people that college football has and the equipment. I get that. But the fact that these guys get to go over there and experience that, play a little ball while they're over there, that's cool as hell, man. I'm jealous. I was jealous of those kids watching those videos they were putting out.
Yeah, it's interesting. The basketball, much more global sport, and going and having a presence overseas it's kind of a way to kill two birds with one stone, right? You take your players abroad, get them a chance to see the world a little bit, and also have a presence overseas. Basketball is big in Europe, big, really globally. So to be able to have a presence there and showcase what you've got to some of those areas is really cool.
Yeah. All right. I also thought about going with Lil Wayne. Ted, I don't know what your rap preferences are, but the Carter Six coming out soon, according to Lil Tunechi. Listen, man, I know Wayne, he may have lost his fastball. I understand that. I get it. But when that man announces he's releasing new music, I still get excited. I get nostalgic. I will judge it accordingly and I will judge it fairly, but I still get excited when Lil Wayne announces he's coming out with something new.
Yeah, I'm interested. I think and obviously I'm not deep into rap, but I'm stuck in this I'm stuck in the rut right now to where any rap that comes out now sounds the exact same to me, which makes me sound like a really old guy. But uh Lil Wayne has a little bit different style about him, and I'm interested to like he could be a bit of a groundbreaker and change some things up and throw a wrench into the system if he puts out something really good that's a little bit different.
Now you've got me even more excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
But my winner of the weekend, Oklahoma City Thunder fans, because the Thunder re signed Mike Muscala. The Moose will once again be loose in the state of Oklahoma. And the details of the contract were not released. I'm sure it's a team friendly deal. I don't, and I don't really think it's necessarily that big of a deal that they are keeping him when it comes to what they're going to get on the court from Muscala. Now, we know he can shoot the three, almost shot, nearly 43% from three last year before they shut him down. Wasn't an ankle? I don't know. The guy just disappeared and didn't play any more basketball. But I think his value, I think this is a valuable signing for what it means for Chet Holmgren. Because one of the things I've always thought about Muscala is he handles himself like a professional on the court, off the court, from everything I can tell. No, he doesn't have the talent Chet has, but the guy seems to come to work every day, right? And game in and game out, he's bringing his best and he's bringing the effort. I've heard great things about his work ethic. So maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm hoping he can be a bit of a mentor for Chet Holmgren and kind of just show him what it takes to be an NBA player on a day-to-day basis, like the work you've got to put in, how you have to take care of your body, all of those things. Chet may not listen to him, Chet may not care, right? Maybe he's that talented, maybe it doesn't matter, but I don't know. I feel like the Thunder have an adult that's going to be watching over him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. As young as they are, I mean, you have to go back a little bit, but it feels like for the longest time, especially during the last like trio that was really young that was coming up, you had like kind of the veteran voice like a Muscala in the locker room. Maybe didn't play a whole heck of a lot. Maybe wasn't even in what you would consider the nightly rotation, but there was still kind of that locker room anchor. And he may be this new one for them, the new guy that kind of fills that role.
Yeah, the Nick Collison, if you will.
Right. Yep.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping he can bring Chet along and help him navigate the demands of being an NBA player as a rookie. So we'll see. But I was really encouraged by that signing. Watch them cut him like right at the start of camp, and I'm just like, oh, well, that was stupid of me to say. I don't think that's going to happen, but I was excited to see it. All right, for my loser of the weekend, thought about going with the LA Rams because Stafford's elbow this is turning into a thing, man. And listen, it seems like it's been lingering for him, right? Late last season, now in the season, had an injection, like, and I played with the guy. He's tough as hell. He takes really good care of his body. He takes really good care of his arm. This thing must be really bugging him for them to even be talking about it because he's a tough dude. So it you don't want to have you don't want your franchise quarterback to have an elbow issue before the season even starts. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's certainly not ideal for the Rams.
The last soundbite I heard, it sounded like the most frustrating thing about the injury is that it's called baseball elbow and or pitcher's elbow. Like, I don't know. It's like a baseball more typical injury than it is football. And I get it sounded to me like he was annoyed about that, saying, well, you know, maybe it's a football elbow because obviously I don't play baseball. I play football and I have this. So I don't really care what it's called. We're just working through it. So
I
I think everyone's like, well, why do you have the baseball elbow if you play football?
I I would be stunned if someone hasn't gone, hey, have you asked Clayton Kershaw about it? You guys went to high school together, right?
Right. They probably have.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where it all came from. But it's like, I've never played tennis at all, but I've had tennis elbow before. So, kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Just something to keep an eye on, right? You don't want the face of your franchise having an elbow issue, but I also thought about going with the Cleveland Browns. As if they didn't already have enough going on with the Deshaun Watson situation and the NFL appealing and pushing for a longer suspension. Now Kareem Hunt has just made it public. Hey, I want to be traded. Now he's back at practice, I guess, participating, but he's like, hey, want to be traded. I want to go somewhere that will give me a contract extension. You guys aren't giving it to me. So just add it to the list of distractions for the Browns.
I wanted to throw my remote at the television. I think it was yesterday morning. It may have been this morning. I don't know. But they were talking about Kareem Hunt, and they said Kareem Hunt is a hold in. Instead of a camp holdout, he's demanded a trade, but instead of holding out of camp, he's participating. So it's a hold in. I wanted to throw my remote through my television. It's like, did your agent and their group come up with that term? Is that something new that I'm going to have to hear every single year whenever a guy wants a different contract?
He's not holding out. He's holding in. Just like, oh my God. Oh, Teddy had to buy another new TV. Here we go. I don't know. But just a quick reminder. Remember, he had that situation in Kansas City, shoved that woman, kicked her, it was on film. Got 8 games for his suspension. Just a reminder. That was only a couple years ago. That was an 8-game suspension.
So that's the key. The difference between a violent and non-violent is 2 games. See, Judge Robinson, it's all right there for you.
One woman, 24, 25. Still just.
What if you have 700 instances of a non-violent? I mean, is it still 6 games?
I don't know, man.
You could make the claim that, okay, give 6 games for each non-violent offense. There was 30 of them. Do the math. Okay, 180 game suspension.
I don't know. We'll see. That's clearly going to be a massive storyline when it comes to what happens to Deshaun Watson after the NFL's appeal. But my loser of the week, I feel kind of bad for the guy, N'Keal Harry. Do you see this? This is a guy. Remember, he's a first rounder back in 2018 with the Patriots. Just didn't do much of anything for them, and Patriots fans have just, I mean, they have just roasted this guy for not.
Well, his
producing.
rookie year, they were doing everything they could to push the ball down the field to him, and it just wasn't working out.
And it really never worked out. So the guy, he was hoping to get a fresh start in Chicago, right? They traded him in the offseason to the Bears, I think just for a 7th round pick. You're a first rounder. That's gotta feel awful getting dealt for a 7th rounder. But he was looking to kind of rejuvenate his career, right? In Chicago, Justin Fields, young, exciting quarterback. Well, reportedly suffered what is being described as a serious ankle injury in practice. I don't know if that means he snapped the thing or if it's like as bad of a sprain as you can get. I don't know, but I saw several reports that it wasn't looking good for him. So I'm not sure if he was going to produce for the Bears or not, but I just feel bad. Like he was hoping for that fresh start and gets hurt in camp. Just kind of a bummer for N'Keal Harry.
This is one of those rare instances where maybe you hope the injury is bad and not like, because if you're talking about a 6-week sprain, you're probably getting cut. But if you're talking about an IR type of surgery issue, well, then at least you're going to get your salary out of it, you know?
Yeah. And
So
it's crazy to say that about a guy that was a first rounder, but
I don't know.
that and you look at the Bears, this kind of led me down a Bears rabbit hole. I was looking at their roster. Remember Matt Eberflus, the new coach there. Darnell Mooney is their most productive receiver. I didn't realize he had 1,000 yards receiving last year. But you've got Darnell Mooney, Byron Pringle, Velus Jones. I do like Cole Kmet, the tight end. I think he's a good player. But I'm not sure there's a receiving court with less star power than the Bears. When I was looking at that, I was like, wait, what? Darnell Mooney, their go-to guy.
Woo. Yeah, 1,000 yards receiving last year. My guess is a lot of fourth quarter, little 8-yard in routes, cover two or something. Uh, you know, with a big deficit there, people are playing soft on you, just racking up the fantasy points. Not bad. It's not a bad philosophy.
Yeah, but yeah, NFL camp has started, which means there's going to be some injuries and there's going to be some big storylines coming out of those. We'll stay on top of them in winners and losers. There's no doubt.